Yes, that's what I saw. So the final result is going to be out in about a week, the HR audit. So what I've observed is that departments that are responsible for driving agricultural development, like Department of Extension, that's supposed to be giving our farmers the requisite skills and knowledge to do production and handle post-harvest activities, do not have the right individuals in positions. I was speaking to the Deputy Minister Destiny. Now he's confirmed. He told me, "Oh, Doc, here we have just 47 district agriculture officers, some of whom are not even well qualified, when we're supposed to have about 100 of them." So just in extension at a DAO level, there is a gap of 57 that would need to be filling. You look at Department of Technical Services, you need to have your soil scientists, your mechanization engineers. You need to have your animal veterinary or doctors. You need to have people who are plant pathologists. You don't see any of any departments. The department is in. I see office assistants. I see research assistants who are not doing any research. Then you see people who are in administrative role. Very few of the staff in the department have the technical, skills that are required to run the ministry. So we have the task of rebranding the technical capacity of the ministry to be able to drive the dream of His Excellency, the President of this country. Because he will always tell you, we got to do agriculture right. And to do it right, you need the right people. So the burden is going to be upon us to be able to fresh out there and get the right technical staff that will be able to drive the vision of the agriculture sector of this country. Hmm. Well, we'll be seeking the guidance of the HR specialist and the CSA because the Civil Service Agency is responsible for handling civil service activities. We will make our recommendation, but our paramount concern will be building the technical capacity of the ministry because it is a technical institution. In fact, in a conversation with His Excellency the President, he always emphasizes agriculture ministry is technical. We got to keep it technical. Let's get politics out of agriculture. And we are committed to ensuring that his vision is adhered to. We'll make sure that the technical capacity of the ministry is built or it is strengthened to be able to drive the agricultural development agenda of this country. Well, Agriculture is not something that is done on a short-term basis, right? It requires time to grow your crop, to harvest them. But before we came in, we know that in the policy environment, there are key things that need to be done to enable or drive the vision that we have for the sector. So, as part of our 90 days or 100 days deliverable, we have made it our responsibility and committed ourselves to developing a national agriculture development plan. That national development plan will be able to guide our activities over the next 5 years. That plan will also enable us to engage our donors and our development partner who are supporting the agriculture sector to be able to guide their path. In that development plan, we are setting clear targets for what we intend to achieve in the agriculture sector over the next 5 years. Besides the National Agriculture Development Plan, we also want to be able to come up with a full crisis preparedness plan. That policy is being worked on. The World Bank has been supporting that initiative. So we want to ensure that before the 100 days of this administration elapses, we should be able to have a national strategy that will guide us during full security crisis time. That policy should be completed and validated. One of the key challenges that agriculture faces in this country is also post-harvest loss. Most of the farmers in the field produce, but because of limited post-harvest handling capacity, most of what they produce is lost during handling. So the FAO and WFP, we've been working with them to develop this zero post-harvest loss strategy that we intend to ensure that before the end of the 100 day, that strategy is validated. That strategy is endorsed by the government and stakeholders as a tool to guide our investment in post-harvest management. So those three critical instruments, it is our hope and our own commitment that we will get them completed in the first 100 days. And we are also doing something around the establishment of an agricultural enterprise development bank to be able to finance, actors in the agriculture sector. Well, the president, yeah, there was the Agriculture Cooperative Development Bank. The president is committed to creating access to finance for actors in the agriculture sector. But we are not going to have the same bank. We're going to have a bank that will provide the same services that bank provided to farmers and actors in the value chain. But I wanted to be clear on this. The bank is not a 100-day deliverable. But what we are trying to say is in the 100 days time, we must come up with a clear roadmap on what we do with the Agricultural Enterprise Development Bank. Yeah. Deliverable. No. Mhm. Mm. Well, the zero post harvest loss strategy has some plans on handling certain vegetables. It also has to do with the construction of post harvest facilities, the storage facilities in designated areas where agricultural activities take place. Yeah, it may not be in the sense of buyback for vegetable, but in our national development plan, agricultural development plan that we talk about, the NADP, The NDP has some clear strategies in there, targeting vegetable production, and we are looking at the value chain, the value chain approach. We want to be supporting production, but we also want to be able to develop the marketing channel between production and the market so that those who are producing will have easy access to the market to trade their commodity and sometimes avoid, these huge losses that they sustain. At the end of it, if there is a clear marketing channel developed, if there is a clear linkage, if there are clear outlets for this commodity, they will not most of the time experience these losses. You will see in one market you have surpluses there, but in another market there are shortages. Only because there is no adequate transmission of information between the traders and those who are purchasing from them. So we want to be able to honor our business development strategy. We want to be able to strengthen, the linkages between the marketers, the producers, and the consumers who are the ultimate demanders of what the producers will have from the farm. Mhm. Farm to market. Mm. So I think you are dragging me to my plan. So I will just go there. We have a great plan for the smallholder farming community. In fact, His Excellency the President has told me, we got to do agriculture different. And to do it differently, we got to organize the smallholder farmers. And his dream is to graduate the smallholder farmers from being subsistent farmers practicing shifting cultivation to those who will be now producing sedentarily. That means producing on the spot that they will be, not moving from farm land to another. How we intend to do that will be to organize smallholder farmers into production units or smaller cooperatives. In our plan, we are looking at different crops. We're looking at food crops. We're looking at tree crops. We're looking at fruit crops. We're looking at livestock and other things. For the food crops, we're looking at cassava. We're looking at rice. We're looking at maize. We're looking at vegetable. And we know in our country, the predominant actors in this value chain are smallholders. Smallholders who are producing on 1 to 2 acres, maybe 5 acres, they are all smallholders. What we intend to do under the new Ministry of Agriculture, under His Excellency the President, is to ensure that these smallholder farmers are not left alone. We have planned to organize these smallholder farmers into production units, like I said. So we are targeting an average smallholder farm size of 5 acres. What we intend to do will be to organize 20 farmers to a production unit and place them on 100 acres. If you put 20 persons there, it means each of them will be producing on 5 acres of their own. But what will we do? We want to be able to work with our development partners, international investors, to do land preparation for them. We are going to be establishing missionary hubs around the production clusters where the identified land will be prepared initially. We develop the land for you, we provide missionary services to develop the land. Onward, we expect that the 100 or the 20 farmers on the 100 acres will be producing continuously. We want to do that for cassava, we want to do that for maize, and also organize the smallholder farmers that are involved in vegetable production. We might not cover all the smallholder farmers across the country because the population is huge, but we want to be able to identify clusters where we can develop a few of these smallholder farmer group into cooperative. And once they are organized into cooperative and they are sure of production annually, when the bank that we are talking about, that we have envisaged, the Agricultural Enterprise Development Bank is established and capitalized, that bank will be able to serve as a source of finance for the group of farmers, smallholder farmers that are already organized and short of a continual revenue. The revenue stream can be tied now to their credit from any or the designated financial institution. That would be the way forward for smallholder farmers. You know, our farmers have some level of organization, and we already have some programs in the sector that are bringing farmers together. Before I even took over as Minister of Agriculture, I had engaged the cassava production group. They are the one that have membership among those who are growing cassava. I've told them, okay, identify for me the first 500 acres that we will develop for cassava farmers. I also call the guy who run the projects at the Ministry of Agriculture. I know you are all aware of the Reed Trap and the Star P project. So I've told them, okay, we have a new way of doing it. Organize our producers in this cluster so that we provide adequate support to them. So there are already systems in place for us to identify who the farmers are and organize them through the associations and our program at the Ministry of Agriculture. Mm. Mhm. So you see, agriculture is a unique area, right? The sector is unique. One of the things that we're going to be doing on our plan is to identify locations based on comparative advantages. The counties. If I think I would say here, I was talking to Senator Jeevan Smith, Wellington. We know River Says is a county where the people do coconut. Coconut does well in the southeastern part of the country. The southeastern part of the country also has some of the bigger grazing land. The southeastern part of this country is also area where people are more involved with fishery activities. They are good at those ones. They got comparative advantages in those areas. So we want to be taking teller program where we can support them. You know, we have we had the plan of in fact doing launching the 1 million coconut tree project in Riverside, so that those who are on that side can do what they are good at doing. You cannot do that in Lofa, Bon, or Nima. If you went to Bon, Lofa, and Nima, they are good at having the rice farm. They are good at having their tree crop plantations, the cocoa coffee. They can do that very well. So our rice production is going to be heavy in those counties that have capacity to do it better. If you went to the western region, say Bomi, Cape Town, along the Bapu end, they are good at cassava. They are good at like, maize can do well in those areas. So we've identified 5 counties where we will be doing more of maize and cassava. We've identified 7 counties where we will do more of rice and other things. We've identified counties where we think we can do more vegetable because of their proximity to market, where they can actually make some money. We've also identified ranches across the country where we want to do some restocking to make sure that you know Liberia can have cattle. The president, in fact, the president told me a few days ago that there used to be cattle as designated area that he spoke to me about. He was asking me what is the starter. He asked me, so what is the starter of the cattle that's supposed to be a carry? I said, nothing there. So we have to identify those ranches and be able to restock them, but it will not be across everywhere in the country. So we'll look at your potential, your comparative advantage, and see what you are good at doing. We support you do that. So if somebody say, well, people are doing cassava, I want to be a cassava farmer, even if you can be the best farmer you are in, maybe Grand Cru or River Jet, if the focus is not that side, then we might not be able to provide you that. Just as we will not go and say, well, we're supporting coconut plantation in Lofa County. So comparative advantage will play a greater role. Mm, mm. So we will have a very elaborate agriculture fair this year. I listened to the guy. There was this team called now they call it a Green Day, right? Green Day has been planning to have this fair. They should have had it the way inauguration. It didn't work. I know they're having conversation around that, but at the level of the ministry, among the technical management thing, our plan is to have adequate preparation so that come November, Liberia will see what will be the first, will be the most organized agriculture fair this year, November this year. We will be working closely with those in the sector who have been doing some preparation, making sure that we continue from there and then meet our goal. Start making fun. Chris, I think part of what you say about me is I'm passionate about research. So before I came to this position, I've been involved with a lot of studies, right? One of the fears that I have as a minister is how am I going to be judged when I leave? Because I've been able to, I'll be a little bit critical about what I've seen in the past. This is a typical example, right? In 2011, when I came back from graduate school, I come from vacation. There was the Ministry of Agriculture then was developing a RES strategy, a national RES development strategy. That strategy was developed in 2012, finalized and adopted in 2012. The objective of that RES policy was to double rice production by 2017 in 5 years, looking at a production figure quoted from 2010. And that document says, according to the baseline information, our rice production in 2010 was 296,000 metric tons. So that policy objective was to double rice production by 2017. So if we are doubling rice production by 2017, by that policy, we should have had about 592,000 metric tons in 2017 at the close of the policy. But then, interestingly, I was doing some research. I realized that the policy elapsed in 2017, and in 2018, the last government that just preceded, that government developed a new red development strategy that's supposed to lead 2018 to 2030. But what was most striking to me was the baseline in that document was 200, approximately 254,000 metric tons. Remember, in 2012, we said we're going to double rice production. But now, in 2018, what was even available in 2012 is no more available, it's even declining. Right? So, two things that got to my mind. Maybe either our data was not correct, or maybe we did not just follow on the policy. So when I'm talking about developing the strategy for the sector, the fear gets in me. Are you going to be the right strategy? So we have clearly defined strategy that we want to implement over the next 5 years, and that will be clearly articulated in our National Agricultural Development Plan when it's released. In that strategy, at the end of the Joseph Yuma Boakai administration, the minimum we want to see realized would be a 50% reduction in input of rice, our major food commodity. A minimum. That would be a minimum. Because we have targeted developing lowland, which will put on a cultivation should able to drive us even into full self-sufficiency. And we are going to commit ourselves to achieving that. We will make sure that we hold ourselves responsible. I've communicated that with all my project people and my current staff that whatever we're going to agree on, we will work with our partner to make sure we achieve it. And each time I meet my partners, the development partner, I'm telling them what we want to achieve and urging them to align their activities with what we want to achieve so that we can realize the goal of the president. It was surprising. I was looking at a document last year. Liberia spent over 168 million US dollars on rice importation. So, what is happening? We as a country need to be serious about agriculture because the president that we have is so passionate about it, you know. There are multiple reasons why we are. And one thing for me, I see that is critical in all of the things we're going to be doing will be the mindset, right? Mindset change among us, now the policymakers, and even those who are going to be beneficiaries of our actions or our inaction, those who get affected. We have to reach the point where we commit ourselves to doing those things that are important for our own survival and our own livelihood. I saw some people at the ministry. The ministry has this and then eat what you grow what you eat. In the corner, right? Yeah. So this is why. So I had this Israeli delegation that came to me. Then when the guy was going by, his recommendation was put first grow what you eat. Then the last one eat what you grow. Yeah, eat what you grow, then grow what you eat. So the guy said, grow what you eat first, then eat what you grow. And it really resonated with me. Here in Liberia, even though we have greater potential to grow our own food and eat, we are not doing that. There are too many reasons. Resources are not there for, there are some limitation to access to resources. Infrastructure is one of the areas, during the 80s. I'm glad you talk about BCADP and the SRSP. We were all casing Banga at the time, right? We saw those ones. But those projects were able to develop infrastructure. You could go to like the Bendi, the LPNC were all around. You could see they could be able to buy from the farmers and trade. Those infrastructure that were developed, we lost them. So the only way we will actually have real self-sufficiency in food production will be investing in the infrastructure that support development, that support production, and also infrastructure that supports post-harvest handling. Because if you produce more and the farmers do not have processing facilities, they do not have warehousing facilities, then it becomes a problem. So the investment that goes into development of this infrastructure will be a priority, and they should be a priority. So we're going to be looking at those ones. Be, besides the besides the infrastructure constraint, like I said earlier, our mindset, we as Liberians have to change our perception about ourselves and the sector. Because you see, agriculture is one of the key areas that generate income or that serve as the driver or the engine of economic development and growth. But most of us who even go to colleges and graduate, we do not pay attention to agriculture. Nobody will, besides what is happening now because of this little grant, but you will see somebody graduating from agriculture college say, okay, I want to write a proposal to be a farmer. The young people have not taken interest in that. So His Excellency, his plan is we got to start tackling that from the university and the community colleges. He has mandated me to make sure that each community college has a farm. We will equip them to be able to train the young people so that when they get out there, they already know and appreciate agriculture, not just as farming, but as an income generating source, as a source of employment for themselves. By the matter of fact, he has made it possible. And on the 14th of this month, we are going to be launching the University of Liberia Farm. The University of Liberia will be the model of agriculture development. At Fendel, we are going to make sure that the university has a farm that will be a prototype of what we intend to achieve in the larger society of the agriculture sector. We've got the equipment for them to support mechanization. We are going to be launching that and make sure that the College of Agriculture and Forestry manages our farm from the entire value chain perspective. I want to be able to see a student that graduates from agriculture college like I did before to say, well, I have this business plan. This business plan, if you support it, I will do this one. Then we say, okay, there is an agriculture development bank that you can go to and take loan to go and become a farmer. The same thing should happen in Grand Gita where there's a community college. It should happen in Cape Mar, in Grand Bassa, in Bond County. We will try to empower these community colleges to train young people who will come and be farmers. Now, you know, not just the farming that our people dread. And the vision of His Excellency is the only way we will succeed with agriculture is to change the way we do it. The labor that is associated with agriculture, the hard way of doing it, will not encourage the young people to join it. So we want to introduce mechanization into agriculture. That's why we have tractors, we have power tillers that will be given to the University of Liberia through the College of Agriculture and Forestry, so that our students who go to school will learn how to operate the tractors on their own farm on the University of Liberia campus. When they graduate from there, if they take passion in that, they will ask the government to the bank that we have to take loan and go and be farmers themselves. I miss Tito. I miss Tito. Hmm. No, I think the university has responsible people who can handle situation. That one is not disputable. But we are it's not going to be hands off, so you just do what you want to do. Because let me tell you, I told them the university farm will be my farm. Because I want to go there and see what is happening. That will be the fund that has the most monitoring and evaluation style. Because I want to be there. I want to drive every morning. I go there, or anytime I wake up, I want to go see vegetable. I want to go see and see the vegetable field. So if you know I'm going there every day, you got to do it well because we will support it. Because the president has instructed me that we got to make agriculture work, and to make it work, we might have a place to demonstrate it. He himself one day will get out and go to the university farm. So if you will be in charge of it and you don't do it, then of course. So my project style will be monitoring what will be happening there. We want to be able to train the students to see them doing agriculture as it ought to be done, because that's the vision of the president. He wants to see more young people into agriculture as a source of employment for themselves, income generation. That's his vision. He's committed to that. So we got to make sure that that vision is realized. And we realize it through all of the institutions that train our farmers. In fact, he wants to make sure that every high school has a garden. He says people should have to grow their own food and feed themselves. That's why we say grow while you eat. Tara. Well, the lawmakers are honorable people. You can't be telling them what to do. But listen, they are most of them. Yeah, most of them are very interested. I think you just heard me talk about the River says coconut stuff, right? That idea came from the senator we were talking, and 2 days ago, no, that was yesterday. I had a very good meeting with the Committee on Agriculture at the lower house. Members of the committee, they are farmers. So I know there are a lot of the lawmakers that are doing farming. Yeah. It's just that maybe they're not a profession, they are politicians, right? But they're doing their best to be farmers too. So I know a lot of them that have farm. Senator Prince Moy has a very large farm. I know. Yeah. Hmm. uh, and I think they are doing it. They are doing it. Most of our lawmakers have farm, and I mean they are making. Yeah, I'm a farmer. So listen, look, I have my farm in Wayala, Magibi County. In fact, I produce taco rice. I actually brand my rice. I sell the black rice, and they call taco black rice. If you want to, you can buy my rice. I got it. Black rice. If you want, I can give you a bag of it. I got a photo here on my phone. I can let you see it. I got. I'm a farmer. Right now, right now, I have 25 places on my farm. I'm growing now beans. because you see, the WFP buys my rice. WFP, under the homegrown school feeding program, the last rice that I produced, they bought it. So I'm growing beans to sell it to them. The cowpeas. Yeah. 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 Hmm. Hmm. Okay, let me just make one clarification on the grant side first, right? It came to my attention through my chief of office staff that there was this Facebook post that I signed a communication saying there is grant, people should apply for it. So that was false. Anybody who gets any information like that, please verify it with us. I will not go and announce and put my signature on Facebook. No, the ministry has a structure to manage grant. They got the project management units there that make pronouncement about the availability of projects, and the procedure for application is clear in there. With respect to what you said, you know, I don't have the proof to say what you said was true or false, but what I can assure you of is the PMU honor our leadership, will be transparent. Agriculture, there is no green or no blue, in the words of the president. So everybody has to be treated equally and will have equal access to opportunities depending on your ability. If you are a farmer, you go through the process, your application process, you go through the vetting process, you should be granted the grant once you meet the requirement. There should be nothing that should stop you, irrespective of you being whatever you are. No opposition, no partisan.
Hello, hello, this is Bishop Tiba from Tuba Down.
Yeah, just what
Bishop.
Chief. How you doing?
Bless the Lord. Thank you, Minister. And thank you, Grace. And thank you for what you minister. So, Minister, thank you for the clarity and for rolling out the plan that you sent to mind. We're waiting for you to fund your race to start carrying this out. So we have to stay on the plan into production again. And how you get to set along the prayer to see that all agriculture, why do you use all agriculture? We only do that prayer right and not put them right. You don't want to come to agriculture workshop and you put them right.
Which makes sense. It makes sense. Once you go from workshop and start eating, and I'm calling, they get different meal. Yeah, yeah, Bishop, thank you so much. When you come here again on the show?
I'm available. I'll be at for us to waiting for the minister.
Okay, so maybe next edition we will come, one, two edition from now, we will come to your demonstration site to carry on State of the Nation on the radio segment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello. 0725 Hello.
Hello? Yes. Oh, the father of the platform, Ashley Ready. How are you?
I'm fine, I'm fine. I'd like to ask the doctor, the man who owns a PhD in agriculture, does he own a farm and what does he produce?
Mr. Ready, he just said he produces rice and now he's doing beans.
Oh, that's good, that's good.
In fact, he's the only one producing black rice. You want a bag or a half bag?
Well, beyond the Chris, I don't get much rice. There's a lot of vegetables, yam, potatoes, plantain, another lot of rice.
Oh, okay.
And one thing I must congratulate you on reopening the university farm because it was very good in those days, man. Back in the 80s, I think. I bought a lot of Christmas trees from there, and the university farm extender. So congratulations to that.
Thank you. Thank you. He's listening. He's going to respond.
Next time.
That's the father of the platform, actually, the father of the former information minister. Thank you already.
Hello. Yes, sir.
I'm calling for what would you catch madam?
Yes, I forwarded all your messages to the father.
Okay, I want to thank the minister for his explanation of the program.
Yes, sir.
Currently, I'm a small farmer doing vegetables in Todi, Yatata to be specific. We have moved on 2.5 because I have 10 out of 2.5 because I could not go further because of financial problems. We also have a business plan that was drafted mostly for mechanized farming. So how do we get to this arrest policy? How are we included in the arrest? What process should we go through to be able to get into this program?
Okay, he's taking notes. Next call. Next call.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir. It's good to have you on.
Yeah, this is Kapala M. Popana. I'm calling from Wuhan.
Yes, Kafara. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you so much for the information that you looked at. I have three major concerns to address it. The minister, so you can let us provide some answer for it. Honorable Minister, what is your plan towards the young identifier for the extension services within the Department of Extension? That is the first concern. The second concern is key community like especially coffee, oil palm, and tropical fruits. What is your plan to rebrand this sector and bring back competition that will enhance national
Okay.
if they want to this soil testing is one of the key things in agriculture. What is this plan for the growth to have national solar to
Is it okay? Just step away from your monitor and phone. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Hello?
Hello?
It's
Hello?
like I will allow another people to go to the because I think we just will stand this. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm sorry, we have to let you go. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can tell you about.
Yes, sir.
Am I right?
Yeah, you all waiting for you, guys, Chief.
Okay. Always, thank you for what you have just said. And we hope to see you having some level of improvement when it comes to the extension area. There have been series of talks on the past government about increasing the manpower, especially the extension area, because we need school, farm to school program where they want having people how to manage their farm, so that when they are having control on the farm, all these things we need to put it in place.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Then your message is very, very clear. The message is very clear. Hello? Yes, sir. He's good.
Hello? Hello? All right, completely misplaced. We're discussing agriculture and say U.S. rates. Yeah, thank you for your participation, but this is not a.
Well,
No, we're not going to throw down that. Please, I beg
he's
you.
throwing light on rice production, how we can feed ourselves in the coming years.
Sometimes
Thank
see
you.
that one question you asked that missed you are missing. Yeah, man, for part of the one thing that you just.
That's awesome. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Archie.
Maybe will feed us. Yeah, yeah, will feed us.
Listen, I'll phone myself. I'll ask a question.
Yeah, hello. Yes, sir.
Yes, we got two more to go.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, one more.
Hello?
Women have lost confidence in themselves. Hello? Yes? Sam, Sam, two things. On the market, there are two forces, especially when it comes to quality. The one that is that has less quality is less expensive. The one with the price, high price, is the quality is high. So say you want quality, go for the country rice.
Cheap is expensive.
Go for the country rice. Okay, so you can't afford it. You can't afford the country rice. Go and eat the other. So you can get so the starch and sugar everything. Go eat it. Yeah. I mean, all right. I have been reduce. Okay, thank you, Saint Dixon.
Yeah, they were trying to review
Thank
that. I
you,
think
thank you.
there should be some price
Saint
control.
Dixon, thank you.
There should be some price control because if people to the accept the other one, what they get for their decline, they should be careful with price control.
Okay, so time is fast. Yeah, we had a wonderful conversation. The minister will now address some of his concerns. Right.
Okay, thank you. Let me just start with the last caller. The last caller has concern about price. Let me just say this. I was in FOIA, January 2021. I had gone to do some work. All the time I spent in FOIA, I ate country rice or the Liberian rice. Everybody else ate it, but they had the imported rice there. But what happened? The imported rice in FOIA was more expensive than the country rice. And it's simple because those in FOIA grow more Liberian rice. There were excess of locally produced rice in FOIA than the imported one because, in fact, there's a guy who has a store. He told me when he brings the rice from here to FOIA, the only people who buy the rice are the NGO who go for workshop. Because by the time you take the rice from there, you carry the FOIA, it's expensive. They selling FOIA, they were selling 1 cup of rice, the summer cup. I will give you a message, man. They were selling it for $50 for the imported rice, and for the country rice or the Liberian rice is $30. So what we'll try to do, if we can increase our local production of Liberian rice, it is possible that all the policies that we have in place, once we have a reverse, the locally produced rice will be cheaper than the imported rice. The reason why imported rice seems to be cheaper right now is because of the subsidization. We got duty waiver. You're waiving duty on the imported rice to make it cheaper. But when we start increasing local production, and as we produce more, we cut down import quota, we'll have an equilibrium where people will tend to appreciate the locally produced rice because the price may not be very high. The initial production cost can be high. Because I'm a Westless myself. I developed 1 hectare to grow rice. I know how much I spent the first year. And the succeeding years, the cost is minimal. You only put money into something, not much. So over time, the cost of production will tend to fall. Then, as local production increases, the local price for the locally produced rice will also be falling because of high production or excess supply on the market. Supply and demand actually play in there. The simple example that I got personally was from FOIA, you know. So the next one has to do with, I think maybe the caller misunderstood what I said about college graduates. I did not say we will send them, we'll get, no. If you graduate from the college, you have an entrepreneurial skill, you say you want to be an agriculturist involved in farming, you write a business plan, go to the bank, they give you a loan to go and implement it. It is your business without giving you the money. It is your private business that we are only creating access to finance for you. You borrow the money from the bank, go and do your investment, and pay back your loan to the bank. It's not government doing that. And I know we cleared that the issue with extension. That's the last one I want to talk about. Okay, I will address the first one. Extension, the gaps are there. I said earlier when I went to the ministry, I did the assessment. There are a gap. There is a gap of 53 district agriculture officer. That gap has to be filled. So the caller that has that concern, we want to assure you that we're going to make sure that the extension department has the requisite technical capacity to be able to provide the advisory services that it needs. Our drive to mechanize, to carry on mechanized farming, will require technicians that will be speaking to our farmers. Because if you don't do that, with the new idea we are bringing on board, they may not understand and they get lost. And it happens. There is no way. And the president is very passionate about this. He tells me, you don't have to be an agriculturist to be a farmer. Once you have the technician who are trained and know it, you can go to them. You have your land. So I want to grow my rice here. I want to be a farmer. What can I do? This is my land. They will advise you because based on your soil type, based on this, you can do X, Y, Z. You can only do it when the extension service is strengthened to be able to get stress advisory services. So we will be committed to strengthening that department and making it very effective. He talked about tree crop, soil testing, in our National Agricultural Development Plan, or the NADP, that will be coming up. We have set targets for tree crops that we want to be, developing. We want to expand cocoa production. We want to be able to also expand cashew nut production in this country. That's a possibility. And coffee. Chris, you will know. LPLC in Banga used to be doing coffee. And even in Lofa, His Excellency was there then, LPNC in your head. They were doing coffee and things. Liberia had one of the best variety, coffee Liberica. But we have lost those varieties. We don't grow them anymore, or we grow it at a very low scale. The plan under the NADP is to be able to expand production of these tree crops to make them as viable sources of economic gains. We want to be able to do that. So tree crop is going to be something. For soil testing lab, oil palm is part of the process. Yeah, all of the major agricultural value chains are there. In fact, currently, I know the ReTrap project, the StarP, they are supporting people in those areas. So we want to be able to expand there. For soil testing, the Ministry of Agriculture we all actually have is a mini soil lab at Cary, not Cary, but Fender. We are trying to expand that. And there is a project that the EU just spoke to me about. We'll be working with the FAO and Cary to do a total mapping of our soil across the country to enable us know if you say you want to do cocoa, you are in Maryland, where can you do it? In the possibility I say you can do it. If you're not there, then you don't have to do it. And this is very important. I myself, I'm a victim of it. I'm a minister of agriculture, but I went 2021, I said I wanted to grow cocoa. So I went in my giving where I got my property. I went clear 80 acres of land. I planted rice there. And then I said I was planting cocoa in there. I planted cocoa on 50 acres. After the rain stopped, January, all of the cocoa, most of them died. The first thing is the soil is not appropriate. Even though actually I carried a soil guy to test it for me and told me it was good, but then the sampling was not spread all over. Some of the area were doing well. So this soil testing is very critical. In fact, I have told the guys in the project you need to do me a map to know the country. This is where we are. This place you can grow corn here, you can grow banana here, you can grow cocoa elsewhere here. We want to be able to have that so that when our investors come, we tell them what do you want to do. If you want to be cocoa investor, this is where you need to go to be guided by those. So we will pay attention to all of those. Mhm.
That's wonderful. It's time has come for things to talk about. Uh, we just after allotted 25 minutes of the time so that we can get to a logical conclusion on this conversation with the Minister of Agriculture, J. Alexander Luther Pease, as Minister of Agriculture in Northern Nigeria. Next Tuesday, we will play host to Dr. Christopher Toba. He's a consultant agriculture. He served once upon a time served as agriculture consultant, World Bank, and ADB projects. We will also play host to Dr. Vamoyamba, a surgeon, a medical doctor, but is also involved in agriculture. He's going to share a platform with Dr. Musaka Fala, who is the backbone on this segment. And we are working on modalities to produce this segment at CHOP demonstration site there in Zubata, Bishop Bemba. Without much ado, thanks to all of you who watch on our social media platform. Thanks to those who called in. I know tons of calls are coming. We couldn't take all due to time factor. Dr. Luther, thanks so much for honoring our invitation, and we hope we can do this most of the time. Since everyone believes radio is an asset to the people in promoting the development agenda.
Chris and Magdalene, I want to thank you for the opportunity to have sat here with you over the last hour and a half to discuss agriculture. It's a pleasure to come back anytime you call upon me. We want to have our audience out there get to understand what we are doing or what we intend to do for them. So our office will be open anytime, and I invite you to join us on Thursday at Fender to see what's going to be happening.
Okay, thank you so much, and we sign off. And we thank you for doing this lineup. We have to go. Time is fast spent. Let's see, tomorrow is National Drug Adoration Day. Go and remember your loved ones. I'm going to be on my junior brother's uniform tomorrow to
Oh.
pay him additional respects. And that you want to say something?
No, I thought we were done. I was
Yeah,
trying.
no.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
See you on tomorrow. Still on the nation. Signs off.